I feel the spirit moving in me. I feel the spirit moving in me.
And that's kind of what our talk is about today, because the chaplains got together to decide what we'd be talking about. Let's skip over this song here. And Blaine had challenged us a few weeks ago to look at unexpected prosperity and expected prosperity and plan for it and accept a miracle and expect a miracle and all that fun stuff. So we got thinking about what we wanted to talk about with the chaplains. You know, we each take about 5 minutes to give you sort of a group talk and put all our thoughts together. And somehow we got hung up on the letter P. All the words just seemed to start with P, prosperity, and all that good stuff. So we wound up calling it the Prosperity Prayer Consciousness. And we got so many P words, you know, it's like we have a puppy. There's just P's everywhere. And I decided the first thing that came to mind for me was the 4 P's of affirmation, which are, I'll tell you about in just a second here. And speaking of P's, I hope I don't sound too pretentious or proud with my platitudes. I really do believe in the power of placebo and that everything is thought. I've still got to work on my diplomacy or my verbiage, because sometimes I think I'm saying, you have infinite power within yourself. You're connected to infinite source and can be totally happy and healthy. And what they hear is me saying, gee, why haven't you prayed away your cancer yet? So that's not what I'm trying to say. So it's a fine line to, you know, the fact that we have the power and it's all vibration, but we're also playing in the Maya and the physical. So I want to honor everybody's experience where they are, but the chaplains are really enthused about the fact that there's an amazing energy that's got our back and is with us. And one of the ways that people practice that is affirming, just putting in a thought, an affirmation to remind ourselves of the highest thought about an issue. And I've studied it a good portion of my life, and you know, some seminars and workshops they had us write it over and over again, like Bart Simpson on the chalkboard, writing it over and over again to emblazon that thought into our head. And some of the basic ground rules, if you're doing an affirmation, are these 4, and I'll just go over them real quick and then turn it over to the next chaplain. So one is to keep it personal. So have yourself in the affirmation. You know, I like to say there's plenty of abundance in the world, but for you yourself, say, I know that I am connected, or I, Adam, am prosperous, or I, Adam, am accomplishing this right now, or I, Adam, am a good enough singer to be in Man of La Mancha. I'm sorry, my issues. So put yourself in it, maybe even do it in all 3 persons. So maybe you got a lot of programming when you were a child. So you might want to say, I might want to do my affirmation, say you, Adam, or something, and Adam is something. So whoever, whether you heard other people talking about you or whether you were thinking the thought yourself, either way, you're covering all the bases. And of course, keeping it positive, because the mind only hears the words. So if you say, I am losing weight, there's a portion of your subconscious mind that just hears weight, and you've just affirmed weight. So you never want to put the knots in there. You want to get the knots out and make it, I am getting lighter and lighter at every moment. So always remember to flip anything that says, I don't want this, flip it into what you do want, and it has a lot more power. Another one is to keep it in the present tense, not I'm going to be rich someday. Someday that money will show up. It's like, I am prosperous now. And sometimes that's a bit of a stretch, because you may not believe it, but there's power in affirming that it's now. And there's power in being passionate about it and feeling the power in affirming it. Yes, I have $1 million. It's like, no, I'm rich. I'm buying myself a Ferrari. I'm excited. The more you get passion in, the more in there, the more it delivers to the rest of your brain and is powerful. And as I said, sometimes it's, you know, it's a stretch. Sometimes it's hard to really get out there when you're experiencing something different. So if you have trouble saying, I am prosperous right now, if that's like too big a stretch, you can cheat yourself a little bit. You can play with it and say, I am willing to believe that I am prosperous right now. I'm willing to believe that I have enough. I'm willing to have the experience of what this is that I want. I may not totally see it, but I'm willing to accept it. So, give yourself some little way for that thought to get in there. And, you know, sometimes it doesn't even feel sincere to say the affirmation. You almost feel like you're a liar. But some people say an affirmation is a lie that you tell your brain to counteract the other lie that's in there. So you've had some stinking thinking in there that's lying to you, and now you tell yourself a really glorious thought that seems over the top, but that's to counteract the lie that's way under the top and shouldn't be there either. So where do these thoughts come from? Where does this stinking thinking, why are we so attached to negative thoughts? And that's what Carol is going to talk about. So welcome, Carol. I'm hearing voices, but that's good. Do you want this? I'll leave that up here with you.
Perspective. Where do beliefs come from anyway? Consider this example. Mom, I'm home. I called out, my 14-year-old self, home from my new high school, living in our new house. Up here, Carol, in your room. I raced upstairs to share about my new day with my mom. As I walked into the room, my heart sank. My mother was placing pink and green fabric on my bed. Oh, Carol, I'm glad you're home. Look at this material I found, this fabric I found for such a good deal. But Mom, I wanted blue. You promised me I could decorate my own room. Oh, Carol, this is going to be so much better. I have a green rug in the basement that matches the green in this fabric. We can paint the walls pink. With chiffon curtains, it will be beautiful. But Mom, I wanted blue. I knew enough about my mom after 14 years that she wouldn't budge, so I went along with it. What do you think I was thinking and feeling in that moment? Not good enough. She didn't care what I wanted. I don't deserve to have what I want. Yes, lots of that. I am not enough. I don't deserve to have what I want. And the big one for me in that moment, my parents, bless them, had scrimped and saved to move our family out of the city of Pittsburgh into the suburbs. My dad was a contractor. He built our house. We were surrounded in the suburbs in a very wealthy, high-end community with wealth everywhere, and yet we had this limited consciousness. So for me, if having money means broken promises, I don't want any. And can you imagine how that flows forward in your life to create? So what can we do about these beliefs that come to us from our caregivers, from our parents, from our teachers, from our ministers, from so many places? What can we do to turn them around? So here are some ideas. First, change it to what you want, like Adam said. Make it positive, affirming what you want rather than what you don't want. So here are some examples of flipping those around. I am worthy. I have enough. I am a child of God. Prosperity is my birthright. And the money one, what is money? Money is a currency, an energy, and I have plenty. And to repeat, maybe you could repeat that with me, our 1928 affirmation. The consciousness of prosperity fills my mind and overflows into my affairs. And now, Patricia will share how can we participate in our own prosperity. Mahalo.
Well, Adam had already stolen my thunder by saying making it personal. So I don't know what I'm going to say now. And thank you. When we were considering these P words, the word came to me. Again, this is that thing that lives inside that kind of does us instead of us doing it. And the word participate showed up. And I thought, okay. What does that mean? What do you mean participate? And so I pondered that. I played with it. I've written things about it. Carol and I have discussed it at length. And so I'm going to ask you, since I'm inviting us to remember that when we participate in something, perhaps we get what it is we participate with. So what would participate mean to you in holding a consciousness that might provide you with prosperity? Anyone?
Being present.
Ah, and what does that mean?
It means when I show up, I am all there.
Yes.
I'm not going to leave anything out. I'm going to also reflect whatever the spiritual energy is in my attitude and my acts.
Thank you. So what she said in brief is that I'm present. I'm present in me, I'm present to me, I'm present with me. And when I, this human thing, this lowly human thing, shows up, fully present, fully conscious, fully willing to participate, and perhaps even more than willing, actually participating, then we are able to apply the wisdom that's already in us. It's already running through us. It's already present to us. And then as Adam so clearly reminded us, but then you got that other little niggly thing in the back of your head going, oh no, I don't deserve it. Oh no, I was taught this. And Carol then began to clarify, well, yeah, you're going to get those things. They're part of who we are. They're part of what forms us. They're the contrast that brings us to the larger self that we already are. So when we apply, what does that mean? What we know that lives in us, that runs through all of the energy and vibration and frequency that we as a human being came here to express, that God is, that spirit is, that truth is, that life is, from that place within. Oh, look at that. When I first saw this, I'm kind of staring at it. I mean, I love the colors, I love the expansiveness, but I didn't know what that little dark thing at the bottom was. So Carol and I were talking about it and looking at it, and she said, oh, Patricia, that's a head. Ah, well, okay. Works for me. Where do we live most of our lives? In our head. But what is available to us through our crown chakra, the top of our head, all of that is already here, that spins the planets in the sky, that breathes my lungs, that does these things, this powerful, omnipotent presence. That's me. And that's you. And that's everyone. That's everything. That's all that is. So from that place, when we allow our mind to open and relax to all that has already been provided, that I'm here to anchor, I'm here to be the hands, the voice, the sound of, the expression of, then what could happen? Or do you want me to do it from here? What if? This slide grabbed me because it's such an expression of trust. Trust that I'm provided for. Trust that what I think I need is already here. Your song was absolutely impeccable, that it's already been done. It's already been provided, whatever the it might be. So what if Adam affectionately labeled this image, the silver server.
Surfer, it's a comic book
Okay. Apparently I didn't understand it correctly. Whatever name it has, it's got your name on it. It's you. Learning to trust all that's here, already done. Your job, your work, your assignment is simply to participate with what is. Thank you. And wait, I got to toss it to the next person, which is Marlene. And Marlene's going to help us understand how purpose and praise is a technique, a methodology, a positioning to hold.
Aloha. Let's sit this way. So as I was looking for my word, I kept hearing pray, purpose. And then I was like, okay. And then I was in the back of the purpose, I was hearing praise as well. And so I said, does it have to be one? No, it could be a couple. How about a team, tag team? So, and then I was looking for something that signified purpose. And I found a few other quotes on purpose, and they were good. They were really good. But they weren't what I was really after. They didn't have that deep meaning. And I came across this quote by Buddha. Your purpose in life is to find your purpose and give your whole heart and soul to it. Now, what do we mean by, having a purpose? And for me, that means the alignment of who we are, aligning into the truth of our beingness. And some of the aspects that I feel that bring about greater prosperity into our life, and yeah, we can manifest a few things on our personality whims and desires, but they don't necessarily bring us true fulfillment and true lasting prosperity. And so one of the things I felt was that it needs to align with the highest and best for all. And each and every single one of us is so unique that only that which lives within you can answer that and, find that and answer that. And it'll make you feel purposeful. You should feel full of life, full of love, full of joy and full of peace when you align with your prayer consciousness of purpose. And it should also bring the greatest joy to all. Not only yourself, but to everyone around you. And that's easy when you know how to get into your feelings and your thoughts and doing the work of being aligned to the truth of who you are. And then praise came along. Yay. And praise equals growth. And when you praise things, they actually grow. There have been studies done where they've taken plants, right? And in one area, they put the plant over here and they say, okay, we're going to say all these negative words. Whatever you can dish out, give it to this plant. And then we're going to have a plant over here, and we're going to praise it. And they've shown the difference in the plants, and they've done it also with rice cultures, where the rice is turned black, and the one that was being praised just stayed white. And so then, if that is happening to plants and rice cultures, imagine what it's happening to us. So always, always praise everything. Praise what food you have on hand. Praise what money you have. Even if it's just a penny, praise it. Praise your relationships. Praise everything that is in your world. For that will help to transform and bring about even greater awareness, greater levels of prosperity. Praise your inner power, your own divinity. Because my God, you showed up, you're here now, and you might as well praise it. Praise God. We are here. We are living. We are able to be a part of this transformational process. Praise is acknowledging the divinity behind, within, the source. So we acknowledge that it's not us doing the job. It is that awareness of love, the source of light and peace, joy, harmony, understanding, compassion that flows in, through, and around us, so that we may not only bless our own lives, but those around us as well. And now, since we've heard a lot of the different aspects of prosperity and prayer, we're going to go practice the presence with Christine.
Okay. I have tears in this eye, and then I'm crying. Feeling really silly. Practicing the presence. It's the title of my favorite book by Joel Goldsmith. Practicing the presence. Okay, I'm going to try and speak up for all of you. It's difficult when I try to open at the top. My voice gets really quiet. And I want you to be able to hear what I have to say. So, Practicing the Presence is a book by Joel Goldsmith. And Joel talks about, throughout the entire book, of returning to that which is everything. There's a chapter in the book called He That Hath. And the bottom line of that is that thy grace is my sufficiency. Thy grace is my sufficiency. There's no looking outside of myself for some source. It's not my partner. It's not my investments. It's not my Social Security. It's that which is always present. It takes a lot of trust to fall back into that. Thy grace is my sufficiency. So I start this morning, like most mornings. The tasks ahead of me are beyond my capabilities, apparently. And yet I know with that which moves through me, all can be done as it should be done. Easily and effortlessly, and I show up for it. I participate with that. We're in an evolutionary process, each one of us. It's why we appeared. And this evolutionary process, it's moving through us all the time, whether we're participating in it or not. But if we do show up in the presence with it, it opens us up to more creativity and intuition and inspiration. And it's through those channels that divine wisdom appears and guides us through our daily tasks in ways that we couldn't even never possibly imagine. And that brings us more good. And that good shows up in lots of different ways. You know, Psalms 50 talks about the cattle on 1,000 hills and the birds. God said, these are mine. You don't need to give. We don't need to sacrifice anything. But what is the sacrifice that Psalms 50 asks us for? Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. So gratitude is another way that we participate. We offer our thanksgiving, and we look for it in all the little things, in everything, every day, something new. The gratitude, we don't look for what is lacking, we look for what is working. I have 2 feet, I have 2 eyes, they see, my eyes see. Some may have to look somewhere else for what is working in their life. Reverend Michael Beckwith would say, if you're in suffering with some physical malady, don't look at what's not working. Expand and focus on what is working. Gratitude works the same way. We put our attention on what is good. And then we allow it to expand. Oh, I have a little thingy here. Does that do that? Okay. Oh. Trusting. Trusting. So how do we expand it? Breath is one of the most powerful tools that we have. It may be the only thing that is real. It's our evidence that God is moving through our bodies. That oxygen, that amazing chemical fire, that's what it is. It creates burn. It burns and gives us the energy to continue to move forward, to live and to express. But it allows us to expand the good. So when we see that good, when we experience it, when you're feeling love or peace, use your breath to see how much more you're willing to experience it. I loved the daily word today was perfect. Because one of the places that I look for abundance, for opulence, to live from the overflow, look where it's happening in our world. I turn to nature. You'll often hear me in a prayer, the blades of grass, the leaves on a tree. One of my favorite symbols for prosperity are the leaves on a tree. The blades of grass. The lavender field. Imagine every single blossom on that stem of lavender and all those stems. Now, lavender is especially beautiful because, well, if any of us have been up country to the farm to take in that fragrance. But we're not just taking in that fragrance, we're also taking in a vibratory field. Things are vibrating all the time. Those things that are vibrating more quickly tend to create more energy and are uplifting. And they clear away things that are moving slowly. It's an oscillation. Like a refrigerator going, and eventually something next to it will start going, right? You'll start vibrating at that same level. So let's choose what level we want to vibrate at and move towards those things that are vibrating, maybe with a little more vivacity. That's not a P word, but it sounded good. And so when you're feeling that, when I want to experience more abundance, the grains of sand on the beach, the waves coming into shore, and then we breathe. Your breath will allow it to expand. and it shifts the way we feel. So I once heard it said that thoughts are electric. It's the way the brain works. But feelings are magnetic. And this electric and magnetic come together to create manifestation. They bring thought into form. So we want to elevate those feelings. Do whatever it takes to look for the good and to feel that presence within you. So I'm going to take this one step further. That evolutionary process that I spoke about, that you came into form to experience, not just for yourself, for all of us, because we're one, right? We really are moving as one, is about loving ourselves right where we are. The more you can love yourself, the more you can experience the magic and the miracle of you, your unique way that God is expressing through you. The more you can love and appreciate that and marvel at it and tell yourself how amazing you are, how amazing each one of us is. It's mind-blowing. We're so immaculately perfect in our imperfections and our unique, wild ways. To embrace that, and the more you embrace that with as much love as you can, the more you will receive. The more you will receive. Because we can go in and talk about deserving it. Yes, that's important. But that love of self just opens you up to receiving all that will serve you and be able to provide for you from the overflow consciousness. That's where we want to be. Not just what we need, not just what we want. We want to be in the overflow. We want to be able to have our saucer full and be able to share it. A bucket. My bucket, that's right, I used a bucket. My bucket's overflowing. I want a barrel. And what are we going to do with it? We want to share it. How exciting it is to have a little bit extra, to give, how good it feels to give from the overflow. So let's breathe into that now. We're going to take a big breath. Inhale. I want you to feel your back expand. Feel your shoulder blades separate. That's where your wings are. Allow them to open. Feel the lungs. That's a 6-second breath. As much as you can. And then let it go. See if you can allow yourself to completely relax in the exhale. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel your hips relax. And inhale. And relax. Exhale. Breathe in how amazing you are. Breathe in. All the beauty on this island. Feel the abundance of nature here. Feel the gifts that brings us. To hear each bird's song. To look at a flower in bloom. To feel the giggle of a child. To feel that love. To feel that you are having this experience as a being of presence itself. That right where you are, where you are, closer than your hands and feet, nearer than your neck vein. Right where your feet are on the floor and your back is in this chair, God abides. Breathe in what that feels like and allow the breath to expand this feeling. Whether it's joy or the miracle or the awesomeness, the amazingness of you. The gratitude for being here on this island. For those of us that can call it home. My goodness, what a blessing. Breathe and expand that gratitude. And notice that we're sharing this in fellowship right here, right now. Feel the beauty of that fellowship. Feel the gratitude that these like minds and like hearts have come together in this moment, this unique moment in time. This expanded moment in time. Where, of course, prosperity flows. How could it not? Of course it does. Flows in, through, and each and every one of us in a very unique way. So that we may serve, so that we may share from this overflow, from this expanded awareness. We can now share. And we count our blessings. Yes. We count our blessings. For they are many and they overflow. This is the truth. This is the truth. I have no doubt. So we show up, we participate. We affirm this truth. We know that it is as it shall be. And we praise it in this moment, which is the only moment that there is. And this next moment, we arrive full of praise, purpose, prosperity, and presence. So as we come back into the room and you open your eyes, bring that feeling with you. Do not leave it behind. Bring that with you fully into this room right now. Take a look around at all of these amazing beings who have joined you here in this profound moment. Thank you.
It is. And this is the point where we invite you to share some of your abundance with us if you feel so inclined. I got to pay the bills and keep the lights on. So we have several ways for you to give. We'll be passing the basket in just a minute. And we also, of course, have the website. There's PayPal links on there. If you're old school, you're welcome to mail us a check, and the address is on the website also. Keeps everything going here, pays for the lights and the technology and everything to keep bringing you this message. So, you know, no pressure. It's just what you feel called to do. And if you've got some abundance to share and some celebrate, and we encourage people tithing at, maybe 10% or whatever percentage feels right to you. But it's just to give something to where you get spiritual value, to give back to this abundant universe. And thank you. Wow, I'm so blessed with all this. Let me keep it going. Let me keep the circulation going. So we have a little prayer that we say together as we hold our offering in our hand. And together we say this one here. Through a grateful, giving heart, my mind and life overflow with the abundance of God's all-providing infinite supply. Just like that affirmation we had today. Very true. Just let the anticipation build a little more. So we gratefully receive these blessings. We know that they come into the coffers, and we tithe on them ourselves and give a portion to where the church ourselves gets spiritual value from the head office of Unity and from other sources that spiritually empower us. So we're blessed and honored to be part of the circulation. We joyously receive these, we count them, we keep track of them, and with gratitude, we accept them and continue the flow and pass them on to do great works and to flow out there and continue the never-ending cycle of abundance that is our truth and is just represented at this moment by little pieces of green papers and ones and zeros in a computer. But we know the truth of our value is so much more than that. We know that the truth of the universe and the abundance and just the prosperity of the universe is a million times greater than any symbols and representations. But right now we render unto Caesar what's Caesar's, we render unto Washington what is Washington's, and we render unto God what is God, and we appreciate all the flows and gifts that are there for us. Thank you. All right, so we have flowers, and we have some beautiful flowers today. I see some roses up here. I believe, if I'm reading this right, from Ariel. Is that the name? Celebrating her 81st birthday. All right, woo-hoo. Good for you. And Jason. All right, another one. Okay, so all these Aries full in the room here. Somebody who knows how to sing, want to sing them happy birthday? Because that seems appropriate here. Why don't you?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear everybody. Happy birthday to you.
All right, blessings for the abundance of time that is being experienced by our April birthdays in Aries. So good for you. And if you'd like to donate flowers, there's a sign-up sheet normally in the back, but now it's in my hand because I had to look at it. But it'll be back there so you can sign up and dedicate it to yourself or others in any way you want. And then when the service is over, you get to take the flowers home. Such a deal. Ooh, you get a rose and you get a rose.
Thank you.
All right, we are, see abundance. Look at it, just popping out everywhere you turn. All right, let's see. We got a few announcements. Let's see. I told you about the flowers, dear. And next week, Reverend Blaine will be back. He's having a wonderful time over on Kauai this week. And next week, he will be back with quantum spirituality for transformation. So he's going to take everything we said and take it up another level here. We'll dive deep into the mysteries of existence with Reverend Blaine Tinsley here at Unity Maui next Sunday, the 14th. As he presents how to access quantum spirituality for transformation. That sounds deep and heavy and wonderful. This groundbreaking talk promises to merge the seemingly disparate worlds of quantum physics and deep spiritual practices, offering a fresh perspective on personal growth and self-discovery. Reverend Tinsley will explain how quantum principles can provide powerful insights into our spiritual journeys, revealing the profound connection between the fabric of the cosmos and the path to personal enlightenment. It's all coming together. Science and religion aren't fighting anymore. Good news. So join us and embark on a transformative journey to challenge your perceptions and expand your horizons. How to access quantum spirituality for transformation is an invitation to experience a radical shift in understanding the universe and our place within it. Whether you are a seasoned spiritual seeker or new to quantum physics, this talk will offer valuable insights in how our individual experiences microcosm reflects the universe's macrocosm. So join us at Unity of Maui for an opportunity to see your world in a whole new light. How about that? Huh? And so that's next week. And usually we have a walk your talk. I didn't have a chance to do it, but maybe I'll have time to get one together with a summary of what the chaplains talked about. Maybe we'll get that in next week's to kind, that email thing, e-blast. Is that what we call it? An e-blast. All right. So that's about all we can do here except celebrate one more time. So I invite you to stand up. We'll say our prayer for protection. And then, of course, our beautiful closing song. So together we say, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Now,
Where I live, they're all raised.